Welcome back to Generations. Joining us now on stage is Carl Manheim. Carl is your big brother. He is a law professor. Many of my friends have been your students. And I want to get a sense from you, how are you doing? How are you doing?
In life? Or just this moment after revealing all of this?
Yeah. How are you feeling after learning so much about your family?
It's overwhelming. It's life affirming. It makes me feel that we are all so connected. Listening to you talk about my family and feeling such a connection with you, it's incredible.
I'm
it's
so
incredible.
grateful for the way that you've presented all of this to us. It's obviously just as you're just as passionate about it as we are, and hearing all this is obviously very overwhelming. I was so curious to know who these people were and what they were like, and I feel like just seeing the choices they made and the decisions they made and who they stuck with, and learning all these things paints a very clear picture of who each individual person was, which some of these people I didn't know existed, and this has just been a complete, my world's upside down right now, in a good way. Thank you.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Cameron, I want to take a deep dive into your DNA, but to do that, we needed Carl, because in terms of DNA passed from parents, only males receive the Y and the MT maternal chromosome, because females only receive the maternal chromosome. You get two X's. He gets an X and a Y. I want to put up your results on the monitor. We could also look at it on the iPad. And Carl, you got your degree in physics. I mean, you think you can tell us what's going on here?
Well, yeah, obviously I got all the good genes.
Well, don't worry, we got you covered. And to interpret all of this data, we spoke with Bennett Greenspan, chairman of Family Tree DNA, chairman emeritus, as well as Adam Brown from the Abotano Project. And what we learned, and you can go to the next slide, is that you are 100% Ashkenazi Jewish.
Carl.
You as well.
Okay, good.
You as well.
Same parents.
Which is not a huge surprise in that until the last century, intermarriage out amongst Ashkenazi Jews, only about 0.5% per generation. So it's not that large of a surprise that you come in as 100% Ashkenazi Jewish. But we did delve a bit deeper, and that's our goal here on Generations. And so we analyzed your genetic cousins. We started on your maternal side, Carl. And we looked for those that had the exact same mutations that you carry. And that mutation dated to around 1300 in the Common Era. And what we did is we looked at the ancestral homelands of those genetic cousins. And what we found is that they report their ancestral homelands to be Poland, Latvia, Lithuania, and Russia. Is what we'd expect. But here's what's stunning. Your DNA supports what we know from history. In the mid-1300s, King Casimir of Poland invited the Jews in. At the same time, Jews are fleeing German lands because they're being blamed for the Black Plague. So your DNA mirrors what we know from history. So I ask you, as a scientist, don't you love when science confirms history?
Well, doesn't it always?
One would hope.
Yeah.
Looking at your Y chromosome, this is what you get from your father. We analyzed your male genetic cousins. And we looked at those that carry the same two mutations from 800 CE and 950 CE, Common Era. And we found that the ancestors of your genetic cousins stayed in German lands or went east, which mirrors what we know about your father's side. We know that you have some German, we know you have some Polish. And so it's always nice to see the DNA kind of confirm what we know. But this is where I want to take you. We dug deeper into your Y chromosome. And I want you to,
without me knowing.
without
right?
you knowing, and I want you to take a look at the next chart. That is a breakdown of haplogroups, genetic groupings of Sephardic or Spanish Jews, Ashkenazi Jews, and Middle Eastern Muslims. The breakdowns are very similar.
They are.
And that is why most geneticists believe that Jews are indigenous to the Middle East, because we have so many genetic similarities with Middle Eastern Muslims.
I see that.
We found genetic cousins of Carl Manheim, Cameron Manheim, and Milo Manheim with a mutation dating to around 2700 BCE, living in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, and in Kuwait.
Shocking.
You have genetic cousins that are Muslim Arabs.
That is really shocking.
That's crazy. I can't believe you guys found this information.
From his DNA.
But it's
My
Ours.
DNA, of course.
it's the Y. It's just you don't carry the Y.
So how common would this be among American Jews,
You know?
the diaspora?
Yeah, fairly common.
That's crazy.
It's amazing.
To many, affirming. There has been a conflict in the Middle East. And yet, what does this demonstrate?
Yeah, we're all related. We're all cousins.
We're all related. We're all cousins. You have five genetic cousins in Afghanistan. And I gotta tell you, not a lot of Afghanis are testing their DNA.
Yeah.
So if you got 5, I mean, that says something. That says a lot.
I got around.
Someone got around.
Wow.
That is really wonderful.
Yeah.
That is wonderful.
Yeah, no, this is, it's very reaffirming. I am so glad to have these relations, even though they're, thousands of years distant. You still have this connection, right? And it's a small blue planet. If you found my DNA in some rock from an asteroid, it might be a little different story. But this is really reaffirming.
And now the trick is to parlay this into world peace.
Yeah. We are just a small little floating rock. We might as well just get along. It's not very cliche, but we are all family.
One can hope.
Yeah, this is fabulous.
Yeah, it's really that is not what I expected to hear today. So that is, it's hard to be surprised anymore. I've been surprised continuously today, and all from the work of you and your amazing team. I haven't cried this hard since you left for college. But
Honestly,
it
me
is
too.
overwhelming in a beautiful and heartbreaking and very, very special way. Thank you. And not everyone is going to get the benefit of a team like yours, but to the 5 people in Afghanistan who were
Our
curious about their DNA, this is how it all begins.
Can we sponsor their immigration to the United States?
We'll try to make a connection.